Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is one of my new favorites and one that I've been trying to introduce to a lot of people, and that is Ardbeg 10. Now this is obviously a 10-year-old Ardbeg, and this is probably one of the peatiest, smokiest whiskeys out there that is most accessible for most people. Coming in at a 46% ABV, obviously it's age stated 10 years. Essentially, this is no fancy barreling on this one, just ex-bourbon. Now, Ardbeg, again, is one of those ones that has a huge following behind it. Most people tend to be either in the camp of Ardbeg or the camp of Laphroaig. Those tend to be the two people rest on for the smokiest of whiskeys. And once you try one of these, especially if you're accepting to what smokies, peaty whiskeys can give you, there's a whole world of interesting concepts out there. But Ardbeg to me has become my go-to. I've got most of their core lineup. As the reviews go live, they'll be up above. Definitely check those out. But more recently, I've done the Scotch review. I have a bottle of Ardbeg Drum and all sorts of interesting bottlings that they do on top of their core lineup. So definitely keep an eye out for those. So, as always, we're going to be doing this two different ways. We're going to be doing it neat, no water, no ice. Second way, we'll add a little bit of water to see what mixes up in there. Love their dark green bottles. They just have such a beautiful color to them. And for being a 10-year whiskey, you end up, that is like the lightest of light colors. It's really crazy on how environmental stuff can really affect what the color changes on these things. Very super light. I mean, that is almost, it is the lightest of gold colors. So let's go for notes. It makes me salivate instantly. You get that beautiful smoke on there. It's gorgeous. It's not super intense, but it's enough that if you're not used to it, it will knock you back a little bit. But if you can get past that smokiness, that beautiful earthy peaty going on there, you get this beautiful zesty lemon going on. It's sweet. It cuts through very well on that. You get a little bit of salty brininess going on. But I love that lemon crispness going on. Again, it's like you take a fresh lemon, you start zesting it up. Oh, it's so beautiful. And a little bit of vanilla in there. Almost an apple quality as well. Maybe a little bit of like an apple juice kind of note going on. Very, very light. But it's definitely one of those bottles that invokes so many thoughts in my head. It's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Okay, let's go for taste. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. It's oily, so it coats your whole mouth, bringing you in that earthy smokiness going on, that bit of peat going on with it. Little bit of sweetness in there. Get that little bit of tinge of lemon going on, but this is earthiness going through and through. A little bit of saltiness that you can almost feel it on your tongue, like you just licked some salt, like a salt block or something. But that oiliness coats your mouth and just invokes those flavors so well. The smoke is almost campfire-like, but not quite, almost fresh campfire. Like you just started up a fire and you get that first burst of smoke out of it. It's not like next day, and there's so many different types of campfire out there for me, but this feels like that fresh, just started campfire. Even coming in at a 40% or 46% ABV, it's barely there for me. It feels great. Second drink here, we're getting a lot more of those citrus notes going on. Not quite as much as the first drink, but second one, man, it just invokes so much going on in your mouth. That smokiness is lingering. It's almost like a low-lying fog in your mouth. That earthiness from the peat. It's very dense, very oily. But there's something just so satisfying about that feeling. I don't know. It just is gorgeous. Oh, it's so good. It's such a great classic for me. And it's Ardbeg 10 made me start believing into smoky peaty whiskeys, because I really wasn't a huge one until I tried this and Talisker. Both kind of opened up my doors. Talisker first and then this one. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's add a little bit of water, see what changes up. Again, I just still love their bottle. All their bottles have this classic shape to them. Little bubble at the top here, but that dark green body on there just has such a cool vibe to it. A little too much. I don't want to add too much water here. There we go, 2 drops. Now this is definitely, being that this is an oily whiskey here, you can actually put a little bit on your hand and rub really fast to evaporate the alcohol. You get a lot of those notes left over. It's really cool. Tends to be a better one to do that with, is your oily ones. Adding that little bit of water in there changes it to almost orchard-like. You still get a bit of that lemon citrus, but this adds more fresh apples and just invoking all that kind of smells going on of an orchard. Very fresh and fragrant. Still get a little bit of that salty on there. A little bit of that earthy in there. Not really much brine. And there is a difference between salty and briny that you just, unfortunately, you just kind of have to experience to know the difference of. Where this was giving you both that saltiness and brininess. This, I'm only really getting the saltiness. But the fruit note is, the orchard is coming through so strong now. Let's go for taste. It's warming. The earthiness and smokiness are dialed back a little bit, obviously. When you add a little bit of water to one of these, it tends to dial that stuff back. Still get this beautiful earthiness going on, though. You get that bit of saltiness. The orchard notes that I was talking about show up a little bit stronger here. That apple and fruit notes, that fruit sweetness is going on a little bit more. But it's honestly, minus that earthiness, that smoky earthiness, they're very similar on the palate. I would say maybe the ABV shows up a little bit more on the taste now, but it's still very light comparatively. Very dry finish. You still get that oily quality going on. Adding a little bit of water in there does break that oiliness up, but you still get that, and it still just coats your mouth very well. And you still feel that smoke roaring in your mouth. It's a very interesting feeling. It's like if you breathed in smoke and you held it in your mouth, almost situation, but not quite as intense. Very dry finish. You're left with a little bit of that lemon zest sweetness going on. Yeah, I mean, it is just a beautiful sipping option. It's so good. And again, if you're not really big into smoky, peaty stuff, this is going to be a game changer. You're either going to love or hate this, in my opinion. Or you might get acclimated to it. Who knows? We're all different in those kind of things. Because, as always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. So let's talk about market pricing. As we all know, market price is market price. Normally, I can find this for about $55 to $56 in my range, where I live. And sometimes I see it go as high as $60. I've seen it go as low as $50. And I think anywhere in that price range, this is a great bottling. It is definitely one of those interesting bottles that I can easily recommend if you're looking to, I want to get beat up a little bit when I drink something and I want to explore. Ardbeg does such a phenomenal job. And again, they've been a brand that I have fallen in love with recently. And I've gone head over heels over a lot of their bottles and been hunting a lot of bottles for them because there's just something invoking on the palate that they do that I've not tasted anywhere else. So yeah, there you have it, Ardbeg 10. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comments section below. If you have a specific spirit you would like me to review, also let me know down in the comments section below, because I'm always on that hunt for a new bottle or something to experience. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know,